Hey everybody, I am back onto the trailer again, and we are working towards getting the wiring done on it. The wiring is a mess. The trailers, when they're wired, they run them through the ceilings. You have no clue where everything goes, and it's just guess. Now, most things have a loop, but the way they do the wiring in these trailers is pretty miserable. It's like whatever wire they're pulling off a spool that day. So you'll see this big cluster here. The big cluster of wires is pretty simple. Now the greens are all ground, we've learned that. And each one of these have been identified. Now back here with the tail lights, that was the original quick connects that of course will corrode and go bad. And then here's the wiring right now, and I have figured out where all of them are at. And then we have a blue power wire that is unknown so far. Over here, to identify the 110 volt, 120 volt service, whichever one you want to call it, the AC service in here, there was a power controller box here with 3 breakers. One for air conditioning, one for accessory, the other one for, you got it, accessory. Who knows? And the trailer was pretty gutted when we got it. Now, we're following these wires back. Red cap means that that wire has been identified with another wire that has a red cap on it. And that would make that one what's called a home run. The other wires that we're finding is up here in the air conditioning, which is expected that we have one here that is capped. And because there's no 110 volts going through any of this, but it's capped because it is identified as a home run. And of course, with air conditioning being about 15 amps a pull, you want to have that. So there it is right there. Those two have been identified. Now, the rest of the process is my little setup. I'm using a battery, alligator clips, red on black for positive, black on white for common. And then what I have here is a little backup alarm. Pretty cool. I've got this in that little collection of stuff down there with my link. I put that Amazon link. I got one of these in there. They're really cool. And any wiring, this is awesome because it doesn't matter where you're at in a house, whether you're in a house or you're out in one of these. This is brilliant. So of course you take power loose on a breaker switch, remove it to bare wire, and then you can use this. That way you can just hook this into a wall outlet with an adapter for that, and anywhere in the house go and figure them out by just adding 12 volts backwards in the system. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. This only pulls a half of an amp, so it don't matter. But what we're doing is we're going through, and because I have no idea which ones are these, but I believe that this might be the start, and hopefully I'm lucky. I'm going to add that to here, and this to here, and I've got nothing. Okay, no sound. Now, we're going to run it over here where I will hook the black to the common, and we don't even mess with the ground on it because the ground's obviously going to be going to the ground. And then there we go. Pretty loud. That's pretty loud. So that one has now been identified. That one is identified as a home run going back to here. So I have 3 home runs right here, and there they are right there. So now I can take that one, disconnect it, power off here, because we don't want to arc something. So I'll just let it hang. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook these together, and then we're going to go looking for somewhere. Could be over here. Could be that one. Could be over there. Could be that one. And there was a box way up here in the ceiling. Could be that one. Or it could be these lights. We haven't a clue. So let me hook it up, and we're going to find the next one. All right, now we have an idea that every one of these wire groupings that's in here should probably end up going together. And you can see here they even clip the grounds. One of the benefits of doing this with DC and doing it with a little half-amp device is that if the wire is bad, you won't get that full sound. You know, if there's a staple going through it, there's something that it's just bad. It rubbed on the metal or something we've done in here is caused a short. You'll know it because it won't be that loud, perfect pulse. And so we're looking here. Now, these two wires here, they came from here. So I'm going to believe that these two will go together again. This wire here, I believe that at one point was for a refrigerator, so it could be part of this loop here. But there's nothing coming from here going over there. Trying to figure that one out. Back over here again, we're dealing with, could it be one of these wires? There's no wires further in the front, no 110 outlets anywhere in the front. We have traced back every one of these, and I cut them off again after I traced them back to where they all go. These wires, they are a monster of confusion. We've still yet to find what they are, where they go, and they don't involve nothing here. So while I was in the midst of starting my filming process, I went ahead and tested, and we found the wires. So we're going to go ahead and reconnect those, and then our next step will be to find the next ones. So I'm not going to bore you with the whole process here, but you see the method of how it was done. And you can do this in the house, an old house. Just don't use the ground. The problem with using the ground is they have a terrible habit with ground wires, tracers and other things that they use them for. Just use your common and your hot, and it's going to identify everything else. And I would suggest taking your time and labeling, which we will do once we get finished creating our home run to end runs in the RV. Next step, labeling them all off and figuring out which one goes to what, marking them here on the casings of the wire, and then we'll know what's usable, what's not. All right, guys, y'all be good. We are still working on it. We have got the next part of this process started, and the wiring is being finished out so we can start closing around it.